Hello everyone, my name is K-Hug, you can call me Kyler, and welcome to, or welcome back to The Chaos. Just The Chaos. It was perfect timing. I was trying to do my intro when these bandits decided to try to run in here and stand me up. So, unfortunate for them, their loss. Oh, I mean, you got a couple guys stuck down there. Well, let me go ahead and do the intro while we go ahead and take care of these last two guys. My name is K-Hug, you can call me Kyler, and welcome to, or welcome back to the PalWorld Survival Series, plus a little bit of extras. Like I said, we're going to start leaning into maybe also providing some support or a kind of a tutorial-esque type series. Let's go ahead and just get these guys out of here. I don't know why I hit that button. We can just click our mouse. Those guys have been taken care of, and now let's get back into the intro. Welcome to PalWorld, a game of crafting tools and weapons, designing spectacular bases, and taming and breeding mysterious creatures known as POWs. The game is incredibly, undeniably incredible. You know that was the same thing twice, but it's undeniably incredible, and I cannot recommend it enough. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I have had quite a few good words about it. The people who play Minecraft and Ark should enjoy this type of game. I'm not saying should, not saying y'all have to, but I'm glad to see there's a couple of you out there following me that do and have really enjoyed the gameplay so far. So today is another episode, I think 4, maybe 5, and just like last one, I haven't had enough time to really get any good feedback either way, but I want to start leaning into a little more of a tutorial type thing. And so last time we talked about breeding, we talked about taming, and this time, as promised, we're going to talk about base building. Yep, you heard me. We're going to do a little bit of base building tutorial in this episode, along with just play. We're going to play our series as usual, and we're just going to add a little flavor in there. And what better way to update you since last time from the breeding episode with a bunch of new eggs. Now, these aren't bred eggs. These are these 3 eggs specifically. Now, we'll get to the rocky egg at the beginning there in a second. But we have, and we just got ourselves a Wixen. We're going to go tame some this episode, so that works out great. But these are just some eggs I found in the wild, scouring the mat. What did we get that on that one? Did it tell me? Wait for it. It's still waiting to tell me. We got a Pyron Noct. What is that? That looks... Burn mysterious dark matter. Someone rises to gallop down the path of darkness. Cool. That sounds pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and get the last one open here. And a Pen King, which we got a serious one, so he should be pretty good at work. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this other huge rocky egg in here. Now, this huge rocky egg is exactly what I guys warned you about, and that is because if we head over to our PAL box, is it a PAL box? Yes. Into the PAL box here, and I toggle all the way to the end. Let's go ahead and sort it by number and go all the way to the end. I caught myself a Quiver. Now, this is only a level 23 boss. I don't know why we didn't do it last time. I didn't have it discovered on the map. And combining the Quiver and the Chillette, if you remember from last time I was talking about that, I couldn't remember the other one was. It's the Quiver. That gets you an Anubis. And Anubis is like a 47 natural spawn world boss. Obviously, way above and beyond our skill level at this moment. But since we can breed them, we can get a collection of them, and they are by far one of the best POWs to have in and around base. So that is excellent. We got 2 eggs going. I have a few more cakes. I can make more. I think 2 is good for now. We don't have any good a good combination of Chillet and or Quiver to really put in there. And so obviously we got an hour on this guy, an hour and 20 minutes on that one. And so hopefully we can hatch one, if not both, at the end of this episode. So where are we going to begin when it comes to base building? Well, we're going to talk about it a little bit because I also have, if you know how this thing here works, the PAL deck or PAL box, when you get to level 10 in the PAL box, which we're 13, you actually unlock a secondary base. Now, we only have one, and so we're going to actually establish a second one in this episode to help you guys maybe understand that. And I also want to rebuild this one. This is it's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to suck. It's going to be grindy, guys. It's going to be pretty terrible because demolishing all this means all of this goes back in our inventory, and then we have to try to move it around into boxes, and it's going to be a disaster. I know that box right there has over 10,000 wood in it, and we can only carry probably 200 at a time. We have to keep carrying it and go back and carry it and go back. It's gonna take a lot of trips. It's gonna take a lot of man hours, but we're gonna get through it today together, or I'll get it done without your guys' help. So I want to be able to redesign this. So we're gonna redesign. We're gonna build a new base, or our second base, and then I'll explain that later and why we're doing what we're doing with the second one. And then thirdly, we're just gonna do a little bit of tutorial along the way while we wait for some of these other things to occur. So first steps first. let's just jump right into a kind of base location tutorial slash build. And this is perfect timing because everybody's gonna go to sleep, so it'll get nice and quiet around here. You can build your PAL box anywhere, absolutely anywhere. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. And you can now see everywhere that I have been and or spawned. So these little dots are actually your spawn areas. You can pick between like these 6 or 7. I think it's here, here. Yeah, so these 8. Oh, 10. Actually, no, 8. I was right. And so I guess the best way to put this is the best location. I don't think there's the best location. It's personal preference. But there's going to be some things that are going to limit you to your base location. And now I have ran around quite a bit of the world now, excuse me. And there is some obviously better spots than others. And a couple of those I just kind of want to talk about. But again, personal preference. But what you need to choose is probably somewhere that has a good sense of resources. Obviously with the farms. Let me get back in here. The farms, you don't need wood, you don't need stone. But metal does become a problem. And that's where I'm at now. And that's why we're going to put a second base up today. So when you're thinking about a base location, metal, coal, which becomes a later resource, and actually sulfur, which I think I've only seen kind of over in the Patalia, whatever area, the Elizabe, this whole section, and it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough going. It's hard to get to. It's not readily abundant, but I do have a location that I built in a server with some friends up in this region, I believe. I think it's somewhere over in here. And we're going to go explore that, so we'll get a little exploration done today, and we'll be able to start the base. And that's got a good source of coal and iron all together in one. And this is important because if you get mining pals, and now this is also dependent on the pals that you have, they have to have mining too. So if you don't remember these Cativas, the guys you find right out the get-go, level 1. They won't mine iron. But who will mine iron is Tombats, level 2 and above. So Tombats will mine iron, and there's something called a Digtoise. I believe it's a Digtoise. And that is a very large turtle Bowser-looking thing, and he's a level 3 miner, which is even better. And maybe we'll even tame some of those today if we got the time for it. So that's kind of a rough plan, and really, here's some of the key factors when it comes to base. You know what? Let me get out of here so I'm not just boring you by staring at the. Okay, we're crouched. Oh, look at all our little buddies here. Let's watch this guy dig while we talk about this, just so it's entertaining for you guys. So, a couple things you're just gonna want to do when you're looking for a base is just any large open piece of land. I prefer or have really liked this beginner spawn. We spawn right there. Literally out that little archway, once I get up here, is the world spawn. Is where you spawn. If you just start the game up, you don't pick your spawn location, this is where you come. And so this was a super nice place to be for as long as possible. And we haven't, I wouldn't say we've even outgrown it yet. I still think there's hope here. I think there's still prosperity to be had here, but it is kind of limited. So your PAL box has a limited range. You can see that blue aura over there, and you can see that I can technically build all the way up to this torch technically up here. And this is all kind of wasted space because it's too close to build next to that. Not enough space down there. So if we can find, and this is going to be one heck of a journey, if we can find 2 new base locations, I would be super stoked. And I want them to be in a little higher place, level place, just so the things that we're doing just seem more menial. You come around here, you walk out, you accidentally sneeze on a lamb ball or whatever, and they explode because we're way too high level to be here anymore. It is safe. It is a nice place, but it would be pretty cool to be, you know, across over in here. This is a lava island, maybe not there, but up in these regions, maybe up north around here. Well, this is where the one base is going, so let's try to spread ourselves out. If we can be actually kind of over where this Fangalope is. I just beat this maybe about 30 minutes ago. That's super cool, and the area is awesome. But you can see these open dirt spots. If you see these as you're going around the map, head over to them, check them out. These are usually the big, wide, open, flat areas. I guess our base doesn't really have one, but typically these areas are big, open, flat, void of any resources, void of any interruptions. You can see though that some of these are bandit camps as well, or the humanoid camps. So you do need to check them out for sure, but it would be cool to build in one of these areas as long as there's a way to defend it. Now, defending it's not that hard. Your pals really do support you. They have your back at all times, but I've got one way in and one way out here, and it's the staircase. Now, if I had multiple ways, maybe it would be a bigger issue. I don't think it is. You know, there's even turrets. I think I've unlocked, especially now, by the time you're level 30, which we have gained a couple of levels since last time. I have definitely unlocked some security. I've got a fight right here. We got some like crossbows. I think pals, yeah, there we go, right there. Pals with handiwork can mount them. So there's a lot of ways to defend yourself. I don't think I'm all too concerned. And being on single player, it might not be as concerning as when PvP releases in official servers. That doesn't abide to us. So large flat areas. Ideally, it'd be great near ore and or coal or both. Our second base will be, but the first base, it's more aesthetically pleasing. So I just prefer places that look cool. It's not bad to try to find a location that's not close to a fast travel. Now that seems really counterintuitive. You'll be asking yourself, well, why wouldn't you want to be next to these? Well, that's because your base comes with its own fast travel point. And so regardless of where you're at, you can put a base right here, which this is kind of a cool location. You don't have to walk to this or that. Your base becomes a teleportation. So it's silly to build right next to one. And, you know, here we are being silly. We built right next to one. So finding a place, you know, like out here, this looks like a kind of a cool spot. It's in the middle of nowhere. Nothing around, or maybe even this spot here. This is really hilly, terrainy, and kind of nice. I don't think there's anything really aggressive in the area. Maybe some van worms, maybe. Other than that, I guess I haven't really explored much in this area, which I wouldn't mind doing. We've got some other things. The Investigator's Fork kind of sounds cool, or even the Bamboo Thicket in this area. So we'll go check some places out for our new base. We're gonna put one together today, and it's gonna be all the rave, if you will. So let's go ahead and fast travel as far out as we can, and let's just go for a little flight. I actually do want to show you something cool. I've got a cool area for you if you're looking for one. We've got a new mount here, by the way. We exchanged out our Nightwing for a Vanworm, and I'm not gonna lie, this thing, speaking of, this thing is way faster. It may not seem like it. I don't like how you can't update movement speed, but it's way quicker. If you're looking for a good level 1 base spot, oh, there's a purple chest. Let's get this while we're here. This location right here that we're in right now actually is a pretty cool one. I anticipated or thought I was always going to build here, and then we just kind of really settled down into that upper area up there. And so this is pretty cool. It's got the walls set up, it's square, it's flat, it's in a pretty good little area, and you're a little bit ways away from spawn. You are doubling up on the spawn or on the travel location again. Not really necessary, but you're close to the Chillet, which is going to become one of your, you know, I just used it to make a newbie. There we go again with that. And so that's kind of important, or kind of neat to be around. Oh, we haven't even defeated Catrus yet. We're going to have to get on that, and King Pekka today. Maybe that's the next episode. We do another round of boss fights. Let's stick with that for now. But yeah, so that's kind of a cool spot. Another one is, like I said, this area right here above the Desolate Church. It's super flat, super open. You know what? We can even head there as well. We'll just check these places out. So let's head over there real quick. All right, so when you spawn at Desolate Church, this is where you will find yourself. If you don't know already, there is usually, yep, there it is, a cheap chest in here, but also have a statue. So you don't technically have to build one yourself. You can come here, boom, pop your effigies in, you're good to go. But this is the next location. If you just head straight out the back of the church, and here's a good source of iron. Now, I do know that some people do build their second base here because it has these iron nodes. Nothing against that, nothing wrong with that. I don't like it because it's kind of hilly, it's not very flat, it's hard to put a base here. But this location here is a pretty good one for a first level base. There's not a lot of enemies. I don't think there's anything that's hostile that spawns in this area. Maybe like a Volt guy, but I think they're all frightful of people, maybe depending on level. But it's got a couple rock nodes, super open. Notice that there's no trees and nothing really in the way impeding base building and or PAL travel, because they will get stuck on stuff. So this is another location. And lastly, we're going to head all the way up to the Mount Floppy Summit, where I'm going to show you my third favorite spot. All right, when you come through that portal, or if you happen to have to make your way all the way up here to 22, -100 roughly, you're going to want to turn and fly kind of straight east. Going straight east across this valley, you'll see the snow. There's another tower in the distance, and what we want to do is you want to head straight across. I just stepped on that floppy. I am so sorry. We're going to head straight across and to the top of the mountains over in this region, where we're going to find our next base location. We are just about up there. Oh my goodness, and check that out. What is this? That is a ginormous egg, a huge verdant egg, awesome. Okay, so we have reached the mountaintop, and we're met with some issues here. This is the only problem with coming to this area, is now you have to deal with, so I would recommend like at least level 20 before you come here, or have a flying tame, because I think if you can, or a flying pal, if you can get rid of these guys and put something down like a foundation, they won't spawn back. So if you just got to get up here safely, that's the hard part. I'm gonna go ahead and try to take this guy out maybe. Well, we got one bee guard. Let's see if we can get this guy to maybe follow us off the cliff. Come on, buddy. Come on. There we go, perfect. Get him to do his little suicide bomb and just go up a little bit. Boom. That did 9 million, what was that? That was crazy. Okay, so this is the location that I am talking about, and you may have noticed why. Now, this is breaking one of the rules. There is too many trees, and I would probably clear out all of the trees up top here at least. Maybe even some of these perimeter trees. But this is a fantastic place because you've got 2 different resources up here. You've got the iron, and quite a bit, not a terrible amount of iron, but you've also got coal, which becomes priority in the next type of metal. Now, I don't have that type of metal yet. I believe it's mid-30s. I haven't actually even been to this point in the game yet, if I'm being 100% honest with you, but I believe the next source of, let's see here, the next source of iron is refined ingots, right there. It says refined ingots on that guy. If the recipe is somewhere along the way here, I'm not seeing it right off the top of my head, but the refined ingots are ingots and coal that you need to make. So these things become very important. And I'm gonna go ahead, actually, let's go ahead and just place the foundation down. Do we even have the stuff in our inventory to make a foundation? That's really unfortunate. Let's grab a little bit more stone, which there is surely a rock around here. Just a regular rock? Are you telling me there's not even a regular rock around here? That's gonna drive me bonkers. Let me go find a regular rock and then we can place the foundation down. Wow. We have found a rock and went to return to the top, and now we are met with an Elizabe. I think we might be able to take this gal. If we can take this gal, it'd be super cool to add to our list of pals. So let's get our crossbow pulled out. Let's be careful. Let's get a secret shot in here and get this fight rolling. Now, she's over leveled compared to our little guy here, so let's pray that nothing goes wrong. I just missed. I don't think Elizabe does the does like the suicide bomb. It's just the little guys, just the guards do that. So we want this guy to get away from us. Oh no. I even tried to tuck and roll out of that. Oh no! Oh, we always get defeated while we're streaming. No, I don't ever die when I'm by myself. Oh, I got stuck against the metal and the explosion got me. Okay, let's go back to base real quick. Oh my goodness, see the hit markers over there? Let's hit this fast travel. We're gonna travel all the way back to, that's where we died. We'll have to go back to this little canyon, and then hopefully our bird, yes, our bird survived. Our bird's actually doing fine. We're just gonna have to hightail it right to that beam and get all of our gear back. I'm so bad at this game. I am so bad at this game. We are no longer a corpse. We're gonna lay our first foundation up here. I have no idea how this is gonna work. Structures outside base area will deteriorate. Someone may dismantle said structures and pals will not work. Okay. So there's your little forewarning. They got a little gold thing outside of base area. Your stuff will slowly deteriorate and explode, is how I'm reading that. Now, all we need to do is like right on the edge. Maybe I'll back up a little bit. I think right here. Let's make a little 2x2 pad. I like kind of having this tree here, so hopefully they don't destroy these trees. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a stone foundation, or stone staircase. Oh, there's going to be a little gap there. It doesn't drive me terribly insane. That drives me, it's a little annoying. It's a little annoying. Is there anything I can do to get rid of that void? It doesn't appear so, but what I can do, technically, is I could... Not really the greatest. So I think it's gonna have to do, I'll just have to ignore it. And now we can put our second PAL box right here. But now I'm wondering if we don't even have the oh, we've got fragments. Okay, we just need wood. And we've got trees galore, and they've got to go. So let's get rid of this guy. sir. And we are good to go ahead and put our second PAL box down and establish a base here. Now, this is that weird hitbox thing we discussed way back in the beginning of this series. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this PAL box probably as far forward onto this as I can. What's it hitting? Must be touching the ground. I mean, okay, so it has to be like here for some reason. I don't know why that is. So if we can make sure, I can't tell if it's center, so I'm going to place it, check it. Looks like it's a little off center. You can see that these 2 feet down here, one's farther over than the other, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel. Let's pull it back out one more time. Maybe I can get a little better angle on it this time. So for some reason it has to go here. But one thing I haven't been checking is, are we straight with the world? And we look good there. Now if I just inch my way over, how does that look? That's pretty close, that's pretty close. 5 seconds. Let's give her a check. Boom. All right, don't mind those little, if you can't see them, let me see if I can zoom in on them. Right there, that guy and that guy are not even, but you know what? We're not gonna look at it. This is a secondary base where it's not even gonna be a base, it's just gonna be a place for guys to sleep and hang out and harvest some metal and stuff. So that is all we needed up here to establish a base. And what I would like to do, which we don't have the capacity right now, is get one of these large storage chests. Where are the large storage? The metal chest. Do I not have one? I have not been using one in this series. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm gonna tell you right now, the minute you get this metal chest, I thought it was just a structural integrity kind of thing. This guy right here is like a bulk chest. It's huge. It allows you to store a ton more items in it. So we gotta go get some ingots and some more wood, but we'll build that here and bring all the pals back here to hopefully chop all this stuff down. Now, there's gonna be some things we're gonna need to do. We don't want our guys to starve, so we need a berry resource, and we don't, that's really, actually, you know what, that's it, that's all we need. We just need somebody to create berries, but I have an idea. Oh, and to carry things. And so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a Caperty. Let me open this up real quick. Let's toggle through Caperty. I didn't even see one. PAL deck number? There we go, 2 Capertys. We don't have a great one, but if we can do a Caperty, they produce berries, which is awesome. And they also help plant things, which we're not really that worried about that. So if we can get a Caperty to produce berries, let's make sure that's accurate. That's accurate, right? When drops red berries when assigned to a ranch. It says sometimes. I'm a little concerned about that. So maybe we need to go on a Caperty hunt and just get one that's got like workaholic, and then he'll be really good. And then we just need to put together a group of guys for mining, and that's it. We're just going to do metal, or metal and coal. And so right for now, we might be able to toss our bat, or our single bat in here because he's got level 2 mining. Or we can go get those dig toys, which I'm totally game. We're probably going to go get the dig toys anyways. I want to explore that a little bit. So we'll go get some dig toys, which are level 3 miners. If we can get like 2, I think 2 would be good for now. I don't know what the rates are like, and so this guy's got a fractured arm anyways. Look at that right there, fracture. We got to get some meds on this guy. But I think 2 would be good, and then we just need guys to carry the resources back and forth. Now these guys have level 2 handling and level 2 helping. The Lavanders could go with that. We need to kind of look through all of this. Who else has really good box traveling doing stuff? Nothing on this screen. Nothing down here. The bees do now, but they also log. We don't want them to. There we go. And now we know why we have ourselves Gora rats. They're going to be able to get wood for us, which is awesome, and they're going to carry things like crazy. Actually, didn't even know that. So we're going to be able to use all of these guys that we bred up and kind of fell flat on. It's not working real well, so we've kind of on a temporary pause. But we now have another way for us to go ahead and fast travel, and we'll zoom out. We'll head all the way back to our main base, and let's get some of the items that we need to craft. Fingers crossed that nothing spawned up here. Excellent. Okay. The first thing that we're going to need is the storage box. Now this thing, it's not any bigger than a regular chest. That's like the best part. It's not any bigger, but boy, oh boy, does this thing holds down the resources for sure. Let's go ahead and get ourselves lined up. Oh no, it's because it's in line with our thing. Okay, let's get it lined up. I'm super anal. I've got some OCD going on here, so we got to make sure everything's nice and square. Now you can see we placed that PAL box in a perfect spot, because as we head towards the edge, we can now place, and we're just going to back it right up in this corner. If everything can just be dropped off right here, let's make sure we're not overhanging. Looks good. We'll go ahead and build this box. You know what? We won't even do it. We'll have this guy do it. Go ahead and have our Tansy build that box. And then we need to start thinking about where we're going to put this ranch so we can gather berries just passively, just from our guys hanging out here. We want to make sure we don't impede any of these ores, and it's got to be inside the blue bound. So now you can see the limits wrapped around here, and it looks actually pretty good. It looks like this top or this weather vane, whatever you want to call this geography wise, is pretty solid. Like it's the exact shape of these bases. Gets a little dangerous here. Some pals might fall down, so you got to watch areas like that. That's another key feature. Watch all these areas. If a guy falls down here, he will starve to death, no doubt. Looks like everything else is pretty good all the way around. So the only place looks like it doesn't have any resources is kind of right back here in this little nook. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can place a farm back here. It may require us to take some trees out, but it did just snap momentarily. Hold on. It's kind of clipping through some stuff, but I don't mind. Can we rotate? Oh, we can. I don't mind where this is at actually right now. I can leave that tree. It'll look nice and kind of complete. Let me go ahead and place it and see what happens. You walk around here. It looks like it'll be fine. The trees kind of help close it in, I guess. And this actually kind of looks like it opens to the door. I kind of like that. I like that area. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it looks pretty cool. We'll get rid of this little baby sapling, and now I feel like we got like a good direct route to and from that guy, so our Caperty will be able to sit snug in there. And then the last couple things we just need to do is get a berry trough. And so that is also under food, I believe. Yes, the food box. And I wonder, you know, we're going to put it, we'll put it down here so our Caperty never has to leave. That would be best case scenario, if he could just chill out in here 24/7. Maybe we'll just put it right in the entrance. I don't know. I don't know what to... Oh, we'll cover up this weird little area here with that hay that sticks through. Let's go ahead and just plop it down. Come on, it just had it. It was gonna do it. Maybe we'll turn the pineapple sideways a little bit. There we go. How about that right there? I know it doesn't really cover this up like I thought it would, but it kind of hides it from this angle, which is pretty cool. We'll help this guy out. Let's get this done fast. Ooh, 40 seconds. We'll be right back. And it is complete. He can work on the next step here. Should only take him a few seconds. So, our next items that we probably need to have is we're definitely going to need to get some beds in here. And I might actually spoil these guys and put some fluffy pal beds. We could go with these junky little ones, and maybe we do for now. But we also really, really, really are going to need a hot spring. This keeps their sanity down. Did he just chop that tree down? How about we don't do that? This keeps their sanity down, and their sanity keeps them working. If their sanity gets too high, they do quit working. They get stressed. They move on. They lose track of what they're up to. So you want to make sure you keep that down. I might even do something weird. Let's go ahead and... We don't have the resources for a high-quality workbench. But I might add one in here in a little bit. We'll add one in here. Yeah, that gives us more speed. We'll add one in here later, just because it'd be nice if we come here, we have to fix something. We'll even add a repair bench. That would also be sufficient. So, I've got everything else I think I need just for this. Like I said, this is just a mining operation. So, you don't want to have anything. You don't want any... let me see, like, I guess it doesn't really matter breeding farms, but you don't want to see any of these guys. If you have logging or stone pits, they won't focus on the iron. They will go just to the stone pits, and we don't want that. So, we're going to avoid putting anything process-wise down. Crushers, same thing. Forget about it. But the one thing we might do, we're going to pop a furnace in here. If we can pop a furnace in here and get a flame guy, like a Wixen, and I definitely want to go capture one of those. Those are like one of my favorite fire pals. They're really good. Level 3, I think, in smelting. So, definitely down to get one of those guys. But if we can get a furnace put down here, then we can just pump out iron and take it back to our main base. That would be perfect. So, very limited amount of resources necessary for this. And now we are back to beds and bringing the pals in. We've got a food chamber. They're going to be a little grumpy because there's not going to be any food in here for a minute. So we're going to have to figure that out. But I think we're good to just go ahead and plop in some of these resources like that. Clear our inventory up a little bit. And I got some stuff to sell to the trader as well. Don't forget all these precious materials. If you go to the settlement, just a little side note, little tangent. If you head to this small settlement right here, right southeast of the King Paka, you sell those goodies for thousands. And don't forget, the trading system actually is pretty in depth. So selling this and buying pals is pretty cool. Yeah, so we just need to add some beds and a hot spring. So we're gonna head back. We're gonna get some pal fluids. We need 10 of those, some fragments, and then maybe some more wood. And was there wood involved in that? That's not the button to hit. We need more wood. We need the frags. Okay, so we really don't need anything. Let's get some wood, some stone, but frags and pal fluids. I'll go grab that. I'll meet you guys back here. All right, so we've got the resources to build this little spring. And again, I just want to keep it close. I really want this guy who's making berries to just be as happy as possible. So if he doesn't have to walk far, if he can just hang out in here, maybe we can even get it maybe right here. I don't want it to be crooked either. Oh, whoa, that's crooked. We don't want that. Is there a better spot on this side? The tree's kind of in the way. That thing's kind of uneven. The flattest spot really was truly just in the middle of this thing. So maybe I make it look nice and we put it in here with everything else. It made me look a little silly. Hold on, I had a spot. I don't know what I think about that. Let me look at it real quick. It's kind of busting through the back here, so I'm not a big fan of that. But he would just walk around in here, and if he gets tired or lazy, he's got access to the pond right in here. Maybe. Let's see what else we can do. Let's try that again. Maybe over in this corner. Yep, not accepting it. That was kind of the only place that would accept it. Not bad over here. Or we just put it outside and we deal with it. Here's a good point that we need to probably make as well. We need to actually have some beds, and I just hate when things are super disorganized. That's just me. So for all of these guys to sleep, I'm thinking about just putting it back here. Maybe we lose another tree. Let's keep that guy. I like that guy being there, but maybe we lose another tree and we'll just build a little foundation area. Kind of a back across the back here. Back across the back. Across the back here. I'm losing my mind. And if I do this, we've got quite a few wood left. Or stone, I mean. Oh, or we just messed that all up. If we put this across the back, I think this will help for two things. We shouldn't have anything be able to climb up here from down this little guy. And it gives us a nice flat spot. We'll get rid of that tree for us to put beds and this. Oh, I'm hitting the foundation. That's a real bummer. To put the beds and the little soaker tub thing. So now we've got an area. Hopefully we didn't use too many of the resources. Where was that at? Infrastructure, hot spring. Let's go ahead and just stick it in this corner. I think this is a nice spot. We'll kind of perfectly, I can't see, there we go. We'll kind of perfectly align it with that corner and this corner, and then we'll just step it in until it looks even. Let's check it out. We can go back a little farther. We can go back a little farther. Hold on. Give me those resources. Again, I'm striving for perfection here, or personal perfection. I've got my own goals I gotta reach when it comes to making my mind happy. Here we go. Let's try this. And I think I like that. All right, so let's throw a little guy down here. He's gonna go ahead and get to work building that, and then I'm gonna toss down some of these beds. And how many can we produce? We can only do 3. We might not need much more than that, honestly, for now. We just get one guy chopping trees. We didn't want them to chop trees. We get one guy mining, and we get another guy carrying, and the Caperty in there producing food. I think that's all we're gonna need for a hot minute. What's this hitting? Okay, so it's definitely obstructed by that bathtub. So if I go like here, and let me space them as tightly as we can. Oh, like that. You know what? I've changed my mind. You're probably getting annoyed by now with me changing my mind, but I've changed my mind. I'm gonna start from this corner and work our way towards the tub. That way everything's even. Now, sometimes if you just look at the ground, don't move your mouse and walk back and forth, you can check on lines and see if you're like base it. Yeah, we look pretty even. It looks okay. It looked pretty straight. Now, let's try this again. Evenly spaced. Careful, careful. You get to the end, you gotta like tap fast. There we go. The last one. Boom. So, he'll get to work on those 3 when he gets done there. We're going to pick up his junk that he left over here. Ugh, tisk, tisk. And I think we can go ahead and throw a Caperty in here, and fingers crossed that it all doesn't implode. The world does not fold in on itself. Let's find a Caperty. They were right here. There we go. We've got Masochist, which I think is attack is down, and we've got Brave, which attack is up. I think Brave is going to be our guy. Go ahead and get to work. There he goes. He's off to the races. The only thing he can do, since there's no crops, is farm for us. So he should always be in here, working away. There we go. He's complaining about there being a bed. There's going to be a bed, buddy, I promise. And hopefully, let's see if we can catch him. Let's just stand here for a few minutes and see if we can get him to drop us some berries. He's doing something weird. He was just doing like a little duck walk thing. Oh, I just saw it. Wait, did we click it? Wait, did he collect it? I think he might have collected it and then no. He collected it immediately and put it right in the basket because he's close enough. The basket being in here means he just puts it right in there. So that is awesome. It took maybe about a minute for one, but if we bring some bulk over from the other base, we're gonna be cooking with fire. Cooking with fire, baby. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and finish these couple beds, which 10 seconds here, and then we're gonna move on to, well, we'll take a quick intermission and we'll talk a little bit more about the base and productivity. Specifically, more or less, kind of a combination of the last episode and this episode. All right, let's let that guy work his magic. I'm gonna take this guy. He says he's logging. Yeah, he's not doing nothing. He's just standing around. Let this guy collect some berries. But when it comes to best pals for each job, that's what we're gonna talk about. We talked about it a little bit. There's some berries again. A little bit last time. And that was which pals to use for what farm and what to have in your base at all times. Now, I'm just going to kind of go from top to bottom of the ones that I know are the best of the best. Now, we don't have all of those. And to start everything off, we have the Anubis. The Anubis is level 3 mining, level 2 transportation, and level 4 handiwork. I think that speaks for itself. I don't think we need anything other than Anubises. They will literally do this entire process. They will mine, they will carry it around, and they will help us build things when we need to. When it comes to mining, I know that there is the Dig Toys, the big turtle guy that we were thinking about going and getting. He's mining level 3, but now that I think about it, if him and Anubis are tied, and the Anubi can do more than just punch rocks, we may just stick with just the Anubis. And this guy didn't pick up the berries this time, which is interesting. You know what? It might have been the monkey that moved him. Now that I think about it. So we definitely need a collection guy. So we're going to need more than one Anubis, but if we can... Oh, there's another one immediately. So it actually is pretty regular. It's not like a random roll. It seems to be on a timed basis, which is cool. Yeah, so if we could just get an Anubis, I think we're going to be rocking pretty good. But if you wanted to max everything out, you need to go with an Anubis for just the handiwork capabilities. An Astegon, Astegon, that is going to be for mining level 4. He's better than, obviously, the Dig Toys and the Anubis. I've never had one. I've never even seen one. I just read about it. I know that's the one. The Bushy, he is a boss on this map. He is right over, let me scroll. Right over here, right here. The Bushy that we do have 2 of now, I believe. Let me check it out. Actually, we might even have one in our party. Right there. He is the best for lumber at level 3. Believe it or not, there's not a level 4 lumber, which is kind of incredible. He also has good transportation, some handiwork, and some gathering as well as level 2 kindling, which is pretty cool. I don't really care about cooling. That's for breeding purposes, but I think there's like a frost horse for that, like a frostallion, actually. There it is. And then the Verdash, which I believe we do have. Did we get the Verdash? Technology PAL deck. Let's go PAL deck. We're looking for the Verdash. Verdash. I feel like it's the little guy we just had out. Hold on. To the bottom, let's scroll backwards. No, that's the Valet. I don't have a Verdash. So Verdash is going to have level 3 gathering, which is the best gathering. It also comes with level 3 handiwork and a bunch of other great things, so he's pretty good. And now it's kind of into the big ones that are tough to get. Kindling and watering. There's a lot of pals that do kindling. There's a lot of pals that do watering, but the best one are the Jormuntides. Now, I know you know about the Jormuntides. I pointed out last time. I still haven't been there. It's right here in the center of the map. I think. No, it's right up. It's right here. Right here where my cursor's at. Is one of the spawns. There's many spawns. The Jormuntide is a giant sea serpent. It's level 45. It's hard to get. And furthermore, there's a Jormuntide Ignis meaning fire, and that is a fire type. Both those are level 4 fire and water, or watering and kindling. That's the best you can get. When it comes to planting, I'm not actually sure what the planting one is. I'll be real honest with you, I'm not sure. There's some fancy one for planting. Nothing that we got. Oh, this guy's just popping berries out while we're talking. We got to get in here. We're going to have to get a collecting guy in here. He is just working his tail off. And then last thing is the Wumpo. And I've discovered him on the map. He's roughly over here as well. He's ginormous. I think he's 35 plus, maybe 38, actually, 38. And he is the level 4 transportation guy. He's a carrier, but he's huge. He's ginormous. So I think, personally for me, when it comes to just a mining operation, if you can get Anubis, which is just, remember, it's super easy. You only have to be level, technically 23. When you get to 23, or even 20, you can probably take this Quiver at level 20. When you take this Quiver on, you've already got the Chillette. You did the Chillette a long time ago. You combine those two together as long as you have the proper breeding resources, milk, eggs, honey, and berries for that delicious berry cake. You put all those things together, and the combination returns to you an Anubis when you breed those two guys together. And again, we're going to see at the end of this episode when we go hatch those eggs up, the Anubis is phenomenal. I cannot describe how cool the Anubis is and what it does. Level 4 handiwork with level 3 mining and level 2 transportation. Not the best transportation, but can you blame him? I mean, he's got level 4 handiwork, so he builds everything lickety-split, and he mines at level 3. And he's tiny. He's the same size as us, so we don't have to worry about any conflict. That is all I have to say about the best pals and the best bases. I think it's time for us to move on and maybe build out some more of this base. Okay, so we just spawned through the Athetic Falls, and just look at the scenery. You've got some tall cliffs, you've got waterfalls, you've got droopy willow-looking trees. It's just beautiful around here. So let's get our... I activated machine gun. That's not going to work for you, is it, buddy? Let me toggle around to our Van Worm, and we threw him off a cliff. Okay. Oh, perfect. That was almost catastrophe. I almost fell all the way off the mountain, but let's just get elevated. Let's just get elevated. That is where you go in to fight the deer thing that I got. What exactly is he called? He's called the Fengalope. He's in that behind that waterfall, which is super cool. And I was kind of hoping that that was available, but there's definitely a outpost there. So there's this really pretty lake right here that I'm kind of vibing with. Seems like everywhere there's a flat spot, though, that there's another outpost of dudes there. And there's a Relaxosaurus, and there's us falling out of the sky because we don't have any stam. These guys are pretty low level. These trees are super cool. They kind of give me like a Weeping Willow vibe. I really like the gap between these two little crystal blue ponds, but obviously for a base, there's just not a lot of room, unfortunately. There's also this little, I'll call it a parapet, this little elevated area here. It's not too shabby. But we just got done talking about how right now we're constricted to being a super small base, and so we want to find an area that's wide open as well as large enough to encompass the entirety of the PAL deck, the PAL box itself, like the area. And I do see an opening here. There's a flat spot. It comes to the lake. It's got a lake, got a nice little lake over there. It does appear to be open and free and void of any issues except for... Okay, actually, there's some metal rocks here. This is not a bad spot, if I do say so myself. If we can double down on the... We make sure... Let's check these edges real quick. Oh, and there's an effigy. We'll grab that. It looks like guys can walk up from back here, so that was one way in. And then down the front, we just kind of flew over where that trail is at right there. So let's mark this on the map. And by mark it, I mean... oh, we can actually add a marker. We're going to mark that. We're going to put home. That is a contender right there. That marker is a contender for home. I'm actually really liking this spot. It's pretty, it's cool. I'm just curious on how big the PAL deck thing is. And every time we log on, we can head next door, check out our neighbors, and steal a PAL out of the cage. Actually, we're going to go try to do that right now, maybe. These guys are pretty potent when you get in these higher level areas. They get pretty difficult to take on, as long as they're not... They're level 20. I was going to say as long as they're not 20 plus, but they're only 20, right? Let me, let's change this up. We're going to chuck a good old Tansy all the way in there. We're going to hold F, and we're going to let him just go to town. That never ceases to amaze me. Oh, no. I don't like that guy. Try to help this guy out here. Come on. Gonna watch his health. I'm gonna get ready to toss out the Fangalope. He seems to be pretty cool. No! I don't like this guy. I'm actually gonna throw him back. Oh no! That's what I don't like about him. He's got a flamethrower. I'm hot. I'm really hot. Help this guy out a little bit. Come on. We are not gonna fall again. I am not going down this time. Oh, he's going down though. Check this out. Launched into the abyss. Give him the running shot. That didn't hurt him. Got him. Let's help out Fangalope. He should be running into Where you at? Come here, you silly goose. I'll toss him back out up here. Let's get to work. We got a guy to save. We'll get in here. We'll take out this guy. Now, these grenaders are absolutely insane. So you want to take these out ASAP. There we go. As fast as possible. And all of this work for a little bunny. That's all right. They're kind of cute. They're cuddly. I'm not even sure what they do. But you know what? I feel like we really achieved something by saving him. And we got a runner on that guy, so he's quick. Cool. Well, I think that takes care of everybody in the base. Which is awesome. So you can see how easy that is for us to take care of, and maybe someday that'll be something super well worth having. And also, I just got this guy today. Look how fast he is, and check this out. A double jump. Am I right? He almost flies. Like, I feel like I might as well just not have a bird. This guy's fantastic. So, this is a huge contender. I'm going to say top two. Top two at least top two. Let's go ahead and continue our process here. I like the idea that I can even have an Anubis here and he can just be collecting rocks. Like, that just seems great to me. So we'll double that down. Our next venture, we're gonna head straight out and get this Investigator's Fork, and it is literally straight ahead of us. It's not that one, right? Hold on, let me look over there. No, it is straight across, I think all the way up on that mountain. So let's head over there and see if we find any other cool bases. I'm not gonna lie, that looks super ominous. Look at that dust cloud on the lava mountain thing over there. That is so cool. I get distracted really easy, and I feel like the only way for me to cancel my distractions is by pulling you guys in, so apologies for all the interruptions all the time, but I just like talking about things. Again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, sometimes I just like to hear the sound of my own voice. Okay, what do we got here? We got some univolts, and we got some RSOCs just chilling. Okay. Not as big as a fan as this spot as I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be kind of cool. It's pretty lame. Let's head on up and continue our journey. So I found another location, and I will say it's not round. We're getting closer to that Investigator's Fork. It's not round like I thought. We'll check that out up there. But it's in a pretty cool space because there's a deep cliff on this side, not a chance that anything's getting up any of these edges, and there's only one way in and one way out, and that is right here in front of us. So very defendable, kind of in a cool area. It's still pretty cool, but I think it makes the list. I think it makes the list probably top 10 or even like maybe top 5. Nothing great, but you can see it's got a cool little pond down beneath over there. I don't even know what's over this direction. It doesn't look like much. But yeah, this is one way in, one way out. It's the only way anybody can get in is from that side. And that is pretty great. And I think even more so, which is even neater, is that this... you just see me trying to lean out and look behind a branch. I think this rock may be sulfur, which is super cool. I haven't used sulfur yet, but I'm assuming that is pretty important for something. Okay, so I found myself right over here, kind of above where Investigator's Fork is at, and I've got ourselves in a super elevated position. We kind of started back over that direction, the direction my Van Worm is facing, and honestly, if once the sun comes up, we'll be able to sit here and see, I would say, a pretty good portion of the map. It might even be able to decide our next location. I don't think I've been to that island. Definitely haven't been. That's about right up in here. Yeah, right up in here. It looks like it's pretty cool, but once the sun comes up, maybe we'll reassess. But we'll be able to check out some of these spots from up here once it's also lit, where all these camps kind of are. We can find some other open areas for some prospects. So yeah, I'm gonna wait out the night, and I'll catch you guys here in a little bit, and we'll get a good bird's eye view. No pun intended, as we're sitting on a bird. A bird's eye view of really what the whole server has to offer and maybe where our next location is going to be. Right, so the sun is slowly coming up, and it didn't really change anything. I thought we'd get some pretty good perspective of some areas, but what we can see is that that space there and the one kind of out in front of us don't look like they have any sort of encampments on them. So maybe we'll check those two out. But I'm seeing a lake. If you can't see it, it's right over top of my bird's head there, inside of this cool circular island. I'm not sure what's up with that. There was another place back over there, and I don't think we've seen any of these areas. So I'm going to head in that early direction straight ahead. Actually, let's go down to get this waystone, and then we'll head straight over there and check those two flats out. Okay, so I have arrived at the new flat area that I saw from afar, and it appears that there's only one way in, one way out through kind of this cool bamboo forest, or these bushes that kind of line the edge, and it looks like this one might actually be like top 3. I think it's in a good spot. It appears to be covered by cliffs. There's nothing in the way, and we're in a pretty good area where we have access to the desert. We have access to the Quivern boss temples right up top up there, I think. Check a map. I'm pretty sure that's where it's at. Yeah, kind of back behind us a little bit. And yeah, so this is not a bad location. Pretty neat, pretty cool. I like that little pyre there. It'd be cool to build, you know, like around the outsides of that. I know it's probably not super feasible, but it'd be kind of cool. Yeah, so I think this one makes top 3 for sure. And I've got one last place I'd like to check, and that is over in this, almost like a caldera-like thing. It's kind of like a ring here that's elevated, and there's like a pit in the center. So I want to get in there next to those lakes and check that out. So let's go check that out before we finally narrow down a base spot. And we are arriving into the bottom where I saw those lakes from afar, and I'm not gonna lie at all. I'm gonna be real straight with you. I think this place is pretty cool. Super flat, a lot of wide open area. These lakes are super aesthetically pleasing. Our pal is hungry again. He's supposed to eat from this, so I don't even understand what's going on. Maybe it's because I'm riding him. Let's pick some berries while we talk about it, but maybe the only downfall of this one is the fact that raids can come from any direction, and so like setting up a cool defensive area, there's a cave. Hold the phone, there's a cave. Let's go check the level of that. That might lock in whether or not we like this place, because if that's a low level, or not a low level, but an average level cave, and we can hang out in there. Let's add these to our berry thing. That would be cool to be able to come back to spawn, or back to base, and just run a cave. So let's go check out the level of this. I'm thinking it's going to be pretty low, but it might be water tames. Level 13. Do we go ahead and send it? Maybe we'll wait till next time. But that'll be cool to check out. And I think this is technically ice over here, is it not? What have we got going on here? Yeah, this is definitely the edge of some sort of ice biome as well. Very interesting. It's kind of like icy cliffs. Oh, there's a red box. Here we go. We haven't got to use any of the keys we've gathered. Please be good. An old bow schematic. We're not mad about it, but we're not jumping through any hoops over it. Yeah, so that's kind of our last spot we wanted to check out. So I guess since we didn't have time to really move the base, I'm gonna go ahead and leave 3 options up for you guys, and I'm gonna leave it up to you guys to maybe pick, or at least influence my pick for the next base location. I've got my favorite. I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but you give me your favorite, and I'm just going to I'm going to weigh all the positives and negatives, and we'll make a decision. So I will say number 1 is this location, just because we're here. Number 2 is back over where that pillar was at that we just got done looking at. Number 3 is the first location we saw way back over here that seemed to have one. Oh, right there. Oh, you know what? Let's add these houses. Hold on. I know I can do this. Add house. We can have up to, holy cow, we can have up to 99 markers. Okay, so here we go. Oh, there's a Doomud boss. That's who's down there. That's really funny. That's a Doomud boss. E to add marker. Let's add one there. And I think that if we can get 2 more. There's one over here in the redwoods. You guys have seen that one. We kind of visited that. So I'll add it to the list. Perfect. And the last one we've got, there was one more we looked at that didn't seem super elementary. If you do, is it this? We didn't look at this. There's something in my brain that's going, I've been somewhere that was super cool. Where was it? Everything looks so similar where you just look at this flat map. I believe, I mean, there's the one next to Chillette, which is the little thing there. There's also this area across this rope bridge from a Chillette. There's only one way to get there. we'll make that the last option. There's metal over there. That's super cool. So let's start from one side to the other. Obviously, this is the furthest point from anybody, is this one here. So that's kind of looking pretty promising itself. Hopefully I can find a teleportation thing around here somewhere. But I got number 1. We are currently standing on it. Number 2 is over at that cool little area that had the big tall rock. It's super flat and all the bamboo around the edges. The first one we looked at, way over here, way back in the beginning, kind of near these boss fights, the Fangalope and stuff. It had the giant metal node area over here and a base camp right there, so we can go get pals every single day. And then we've got the other 2 that we didn't really touch much on, but this one's really pretty because of the red aesthetic of the trees. It's almost kind of like a fall vibe. I really like that area. There's also the right next to the Desolate Church. There's all that metal up there. And then lastly, it's over by Chillette. You haven't seen it. There's some metal there, much like the other one we looked at. But it is across a rope bridge from the Chillette like area where it spawns. And it's a super cool place. So 1 through 5. I'll do them one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just give me a 1 through 5. What's your favorite? Maybe even give me a reason why you like that one. And yeah, I think I've kind of given my positive and negative about it. Let's see if we can find a fast travel, and then I'll meet you guys back at base. Right, I just want to preface just how fast this Fangalope is. Just look at me move. And I will never get over this feature here. That double jump is insane. Well, I just had a raid come through, so we took these guys out right as we got back. Always how it works. As soon as you get back, something's got to go wrong. And I think it's been just enough time for us to go start cracking some eggs. I think this one might have a little bit of time. We can wait 20 seconds. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that we have an Anubis in the first huge rocky egg. And there it is, a nimble Anubis. I'm not sure what nimble does. I wish he was in my party. We'll go check him out here in a minute, but let's check our second one. Should be another Anubis. And another Anubis with Nimble. We get 2 of the exact same ones. Now, I'm not sure if Nimble's good, but I do know that an Anubis is good. So I'm not even sure it matters. And lastly, we got a Verdash. Oh, didn't we just... Hold on. We just saw that a Verdash was the best mon or pal to pick things up, right? Nope, that's a Sweepa. That's the Pyron. Hold on. There he is, the Verdash. Oh, he's really cool. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, we need some Verdash around here. I gotta figure out how to make these. Actually, now we can look at their habitat. Whoa. They spawn on like one island way over there. There's the Doom, right here's the island with the Doomud Cave that we just left. And is right there. That's super cool. I wonder what kind of level that thing is. I don't know, but it sounds super cool. And what do they do when fighting together? Increases players' movement speed and applies grass damage. Don't really care about the grass damage, but movement speed increase is pretty cool. Pretty cool, not gonna lie. So he's got handiwork, lumbering, planting, gathering, and transporting. So he's just like an all-around planting guy. I think having these guys around. I've been using these for medicine. You know what? I think maybe we'll change out. We'll use one valet for medicine purposes, but I think we need the Verdash for all of our planting purposes and our gathering. And he's got transportation, which is super cool, and it's better than this guy. Kind of all around. Okay, cool, super cool. Yeah, let's scroll down. I believe, there it was. Anubis is number 100. Number 100 on the list. He's a pretty hungry guy, but there it is. Mining 3, handiwork 4, transportation 2. And when fighting together, it applies ground damage to players' attack, sometimes dodge attacks with a high speed of sidestep while in battle. That's pretty cool. When you kill them, they drop large power souls and a technology manuals. I feel like this is a farmy thing that we're going to need to know for later on. And let's go ahead and look. We've got a couple more. I saw some yellow dots. What did we get that we don't have learned yet? Where was it? We've got something. Oh, we saw a Hangyu. Not. Oh, I think he's in the desert. I don't think we actually saw him. He must have came like within eye shot of us. And what else? There's something missing. Something is leaving this yellow tick, and I hate that yellow tick. I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's a Wixen. We got a Wixen for one of those eggs. Excellent. And this is right here. Kindling 2, Handiwork 2, 3, Transportation 2. Another one of my favorite tames. The Kindling 2 is pretty great. I thought the Kindling was better than the Bushy. It's only 2, so we need to look and see what's got 3. I don't know where that will be, but we'll find out in the next episode. So that's going to do it for us today. I appreciate you all coming and hanging out with me today. Since you're still hanging out, and if you like the series or this game in general, please hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, share with your friends, and leave some kind words in the comments down below. All the huge people. And don't forget, 1 through 5, pick your favorite base location. And just give me like a little reason. I'll go over those one more time, just so you know. You can see them here. I'm kind of zoomed out. We got 1 in the top left-hand corner. We got 2 kind of a little south of that. Way south of that, we got 3, the first one we looked at today. And then we've got the one next to a Desolate Church at 4, and the one next to Chillet at 5. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're enjoying the series, or if you just want to see me shut up and play the game instead of doing all the bouncing around and trying to teach you guys the ins and outs. Just let me know. I'm up for criticism. I'm up for change. I just thought it'd be nice to be able to inform you guys about this game since it's so new and we're all learning together. As always, that brings us to the end. Stay beautiful, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace out.